Okay, it's Sunday again, and we have a game lined up. It's 2,400 points, and it's Orcs versus High Elves. So it's a battle line mission, so we're going to run through my Orcs and Goblins. We have 5 Wolf Riders, my General on a Wyvern, 38 Savage Orc Biggins, 20 Night Goblin Archers, with the BSB, who's a Night Goblin Big Boss, and a Savage Orc Shaman, actually in the bunker, not the Savages. He doesn't have a lucky shrunken head either. We have a Troll, 39 Black Orcs, a Giant. The reason I took the Savage Orc Shaman instead of just a regular one is I could give him the tattoo, so he's got 6 up ward save. Might keep him alive for a tiny bit longer. Got 5 more Wolf Riders, another Giant with the lucky tattoos, and 2 Doom Divers. That's it. So hand you over to Si, see what he's got.
I've got considerably less than I'd originally planned. I made a 3,000 point army. Ollie made a 2,400, so I've pulled a few models out here and there and got it down to 2,400. So we have 5 Elrilian Reavers. Unit of 30 White Lions. There is a Lariel and my BSB in there. Then I have a bunker unit of 15 Spearmen with Wizard. Then I have 20 Swordmasters with a handmaiden of a Lariel. And then I have 35 Spearmen and 4 High Elf bolt throwers. And that completes the army. Basically, I finished the point first. So I get the +1. So we will see you at the end of Winter Dice Off's first turn. I can't get my dice at the moment, my hands are full. Okay, it's the end of High Elf turn 1. I won the roll. Basically moved everyone up, everyone marched forward. So to bring up, obviously the bolt thrower stayed in place. Then in the magic phase, I've got 8 plus a channel. I cast Throne of Vines on a Lariel. Then I cast Flesh to Stone. And then with my remaining 4 dice, I cast Fiery Convocation on the Black Orcs, which allowed me to cook 13 of them. As Ollie got really unlucky and rolled 6 dice, got basically 4 1s in there. Yeah. So I was initially just hoping he'd get rid of his scroll. Wasn't expecting that to actually do anything. But yeah, killed 13 Black Orcs, which was pretty nice. And then with the shooting, I peppered that troll, but he's made of sterner stuff. This is the troll that survived being stomped on by Gork himself. So he wasn't discouraged by a couple of bolts to the head. And then with my last part of my shooting, these guys just went and shot at Ollie's chaff over there, the Wolf Riders.
Do me a huge favour.
Oh yes, I do him a huge favour by killing one of them, therefore he has no animosity now. So with that...
Someone was a troublemaker.
With that, it's now time for Orcs and Goblins turn 1.
Okay, it's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 1. Not the best turn ever. Okay, so we started off with the Giant charging the Reavers. They run away like little girls because of his terror. They did initially hold, but thought better of it. These guys failed their animosity, tried to charge the Spearmen, which also coincidentally my General was about to do. But the General, they actually failed the terror, so they ran off, and so they both attempted to redirect into the Swordmasters. These guys failed the charge, and the General made it in, unfortunately for me, because I completely forgot about his Flesh to Stone, so that was a bit stupid. these guys decided to book it towards the bolt throwers and get kind of charge of the light brigade there. These guys moved up. These guys just turned a bit. Troll moved up to threaten the high elf ladyboy. Can't remember that. Alariel. That's the one. The giant backed up a bit. These guys just moved around for potential redirecting later. And that was pretty much it. The magic phase rolled 6. 5 to 5, so I've got channels, so we had 6. I just used them to get rid of fiery convocation on the Black Orcs. Then the shooting phase, the 2 Doom Divers killed quite a fair few white lions. I think it was, what was it, like 6 or 7?
Yeah, you killed 7.
Which was lovely, so they're pulling their weight. Then we went to the close combat. I declared my war on my charge, so which was a good job I did, because like I said, he's toughness 7. So all these guys attacked my wyvern. Unfortunately for Si, I only did 3 wounds to it, even though I got plenty of hits, plenty of wounds, but I did actually roll 3 6s for my scaly skin. Then in return, I bashed 3 elves and managed to win the combat by 1, thanks to the war. So unfortunately held though. So these guys are fleeing, which was nice, but then he fled 2, so I kind of wish I went off those, but then I would have got shot to death by bolt throwers. So it was probably a good call. Although my general's probably going to die now, so it sounds good. So that's the end of turn 1.
Right, it's an end of an exceptionally annoying High Elf turn 2. It's not annoying for the fact that having moved everyone up right into his grill, I was preparing to send the hammer blow through his army. The hammer blow unfortunately missed and smashed my gammy knee. So yeah, basically what happened is moved everyone up. Then the magic phase came. I tried to cast Flesh to Stone on the Swordmasters, which Ollie dispelled. I then 5 diced Fiery Convocation, rolling 3 6s in the process. So basically I got it off on the Black Orcs again, killing another 11. So basically reducing the unit right down. Then came shooting, which was a little ineffective. I killed 2 guys over there, and the bolt throwers managed to kill 3 savages. Then in close combat, I did, as I usually do, when I'm just about ready to turn a tide and do really well, Lady Luck decides that she's going to place her massive, sweaty, hairy testicles upon my forehead. And I failed my fear test, even after blowing my Horn of Isha, which basically meant I wasn't able to draw a bead on any of his forces, or any of his general or his wyvern. So to compound the luck that he had last time, I basically put a wound on his general, and that was it.
You got, how many hits was it on the wyvern?
Not very many.
No.
Because I failed my fear test, I was on forced to hit the wyvern. So instead of 2s, so really the plan was half and half: 2s to hit the wyvern, 3s to hit the general. I would have been forced to wound the general, so I was thinking I'd put a couple of wounds on him, kill the wyvern. Basically, no thunder stomp, no attack back from the wyvern. Probably lose 2 or 3 guys from the general, win the combat easy, chase him down. And then get right into the face of the savages. So that was the plan anyway. But unfortunately, it didn't work like that, and I instead lost 10 Swordmasters. So that's a pretty big problem, as I've now essentially got to take on the rest of his force with some dudes, some spearmen. Yay. So yes, I shall rue that day until next week, when I dare say there'll be something else to rue. So yeah, with that, I'll leave Ollie to his turn 2.
Okay, it's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Yep, that's right, turn 2. So I fell down animosity with these guys, but that was fine because I was going to charge anyway. So I declared charge into the spearmen. They fled, very wise. So I failed the charge. These guys managed to make a swift reform, move over here, as did these, to get out the line of sight of these horrible, horrible white lines. The giant moved up out of the line of sight. So everyone was out of the line of sight until I failed to rally these guys. So now they're in the line of sight. So left him open to charge into the Doom Divers. But luckily, being Orcs and Goblins, being the tactical geniuses, I fired my Doom Diver in the shooting phase and actually blew it up. So the plans worked out beautifully. This giant charged into the Reavers, who fled again. Not from terror this time, just from their own sense of survival. This guy passed his stupidity test, so redirect the useless bunker with the wizard, who's not actually a wizard. But he's still good enough to roll 6s for channel dice, which is quite annoying.
With the wizard who's soon to become a redirector.
Yeah. Then these guys failed their charge into the bolt throwers, so their moment of glory wasted. So now they're probably going to get drilled. Well, they probably won't bother, because what threat are they? So that was it for movement. Then in the magic phase, I rolled 9 dice and used 6 of them to dispel Fiery Convocation. Then realised so I channeled twice and had 8 dice, so I didn't bother using the rest because there wasn't much point. There's nothing I actually willing to get a miscast on anyway. So still no magic spells for me at all. So that was it for that. And then in the shooting phase, like I say, one of the Doom Divers blew itself up, and the other one missed the white lines entirely. So I'm really glad I hate those white lines. But then in close combat, it went my way. So I, out of frustration, declared all his attacks on the Wyvern. Hit it loads, didn't wound it as many, and then I rolled 2 6s for the armour saves again. So the Wyvern is still sitting on 3 wounds, and so I was not happy. Then in return, I butchered everyone but the character, who was like, was it a handmaiden, shield maiden?
Handmaiden of something.
Finger maiden.
she's about to get handed over to the Dark Elves if she should.
Yeah, so she's booking it. Unfortunately, my general's in line of sight of 4 bolt throwers now, so it's not looking good for him. But at least he had fun. So, so that was pretty much the end of my turn. So that's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 2. So an eventful game.
Okay, well, another disappointing high off turn. Really, you just managed to rally all of these guys, move them up. Shot, put a wound on the thing. Ollie's ability at rolling 6s is back with vengeance, as I basically can't seem to kill anything or draw a bead on anything at the moment that has a 6-up armour save. And then to add insult to injury, I failed to dwell as the savage unit. Ollie managed to dispel it with a scroll. These guys, you think 4 bolt throwers against that, but no, it's still standing. I managed to miss with 3 of them, hit the Wyvern, wound it, and then only needed to roll a 3-up, and actually I rolled a 2. So, yeah, it's the story of this game really is just, I think luck wants Ollie to win. It's not really anything he's done, other than made
well, that Wyvern just doesn't want to die.
That's pretty much it. I think that's really kind of knackered me up, because now I'm in a bit of a bad place. So I've just got to sort of I've just got to see what happens. So with that, it's now time for Orcs and Goblins turn 3.
Okay, it's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 3. So charge-wise, I charged the giant into the back of the White Lions. This one got fed up with chasing after those Reavers and decided to turn around and come this way, join in the fun. The troll passed his stupidity and just moved a little bit to the side to redirect them still. These guys passed animosity, frenzy for him. Well, he didn't need to make a frenzy, but he passed it anyway. And they just moved up here. These guys failed animosity, failed frenzy, but was going to charge anyway into the same unit he held. But I did need a lot to get into them. My war boss charged into their flank, which he held as well. These obviously failed the charge. War boss made it. The Warfighters over there went into the bolt thrower. And then in the Wolf Riders failed to rally. The magic phase, I got 9 dice, attempted to cast a Foot of Gore on the bolt throws over there, and failed to cast it, even though I was rolling the little one, just a 15. I think I rolled 11 in total, on 6 dice. I don't need to tell you how many ones there is. And then in the shooting phase, the the Doom Diver. Hang on a sec. Okay, sorry about that. Got a bit of a cough. Yes, that was that. And then, like I said, shooting phase, Doom Diver fired at something. I believe you missed. Yeah, he missed a lot. He actually tried to fire at the Shield Maiden over here. Then in close combat, the Wolf Riders did nothing. The Elves did nothing in return. The Giant went in, signing managed to do 1 wound to it, which was fortunate. And then in return, I swung with my club, killed 1, and then thunderstormed 4 more. So I actually won the combat. He held because he's stubborn. Then in this combat, the 4 spearmen in the flank actually managed to kill off the unkillable Wyvern. So that was annoying. Even though I had a 4-up armor save, I failed it. So I was happy with that. But then in return, my war boss managed to kill 3 of the spearmen, and with the charge on the flank, actually won the combat. Sorry, I killed 4 actually. So actually won the combat by 1. Yeah, of course, he broke, and he's now fleeing. So yeah, so that war boss is just gold. Unfortunately, he's got 3 bolt throws staring him down now. So I have to see how he does. And that was it. So it's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 3.
That's right. Right, so it's the end of High Elves turn 4. Things are going from bad to worse. Basically, I'm now pretty much in a rock and a hard place. I've basically got these guys have reformed, ready to take combat. My champion, or my hero, sorry, is having to be a redirector. I charged the troll with the wizards unit. Basically wiped the troll out. Overran into the giant in an attempt to try and get some more attacks, which failed unfortunately. And I was only able to do 3 wounds to him in the cascading combat. Which Ollie just made. Well, Ollie made 1 armor save, which was just enough to hold him in. Yeah, those magical tattoos are proving very, very useful for him.
Yeah, really good.
So yeah, the shooting phase, I tried to shoot that guy up, didn't, and then this was the biggest fail of all. A guy on foot. I mean, come on, 3 bolt throwers. You'd think, no. Totally missed with everything. So yeah, just a terrible turn. So with that, it's looking exceptionally bleak for the High Elves. I've not really got anything of note left in my army, bar the white lines, and they're going down thick and fast. So yeah, we'll just have to now see what happens in Orcs and Goblins turn 4.
Okay, it's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 4. So I declared a charge with my... Well, in fact, the Savages failed their animosity, rolled a 6, so they had to move towards the nearest target, which was the Shield Maiden, and then declare a charge on her. Warboss charged into the Spearman. Black Orcs just stayed where they were. The other giant charged into the rear of the White Lions. In fact, I didn't shoot my Doom Diver, did I?
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. Okay. I was only going to shoot the pesky old Reavers anyway. So don't know, so, probably won't matter. But the giant charged into the rear of those. The wolves charged into that guy. That was pretty much it for movement. That's pretty much all I had. Need to say they passed the charge. Then in the magic phase, I rolled, I think I got 9 dice. Used 6 of them cost foot Gork. Yeah, quite imaginative. And I did the small one because I didn't want it repeating on me and killing my own guys. So I just threw all of them. Got a miscast. But did actually manage to kill one bolt thrower with it and wound to another one. Then on the miscast, I just took a strength 6 hit. So he's taken a wound. Then with the remaining dice, they just drained from the miscast. So that was it for magic. So I did actually get to cast a spell. So that was it for that. Then the shooting phase I obviously didn't do. And then close combat, my savages killed his shield maiden, butchered her handily. She killed one in return. And then I overran into the other combat, sort of cascading combat with the general. And then between them, they killed about 19 of them, I think. And they fled and I caught them, so they died. So I just reformed like that just to protect the general. Then over here, Sai managed to kill my giant with his spearman. And then his white lions attacked the other one and managed to wound to it. And then the giant got a swing with club, but unfortunately they're still toughness 7, so did no wounds with that, even though I rolled a 6 on it. And then thunder stomped to kill one of them. And then that was the end of the combat. So he won by 1, but I'm stubborn 10, so I held. And that was it. So it's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 4.
Okay, a pretty terrible turn for me again. Basically just put a couple of wounds on the giant, lost the combat. Thankfully the White Lions held, but these guys panicked. Rolling a 12 followed by an 11. Sorry, an 11. An 11, okay. Yeah. Which was terrible.
Save those 2 dice with charge rolls.
Yeah, and then they'll roll double ones every time. These guys failed to rally and just ran. Magic phase was a good one. I got like 10 dice. So I 4-diced Earth Blood on that unit, and then followed it up by 6 dice in Flesh to Stone, which I avoided with Throne of Vines. Ollie then dispelled Throne of Vines, and then tried to bolt throw up his general. Missed, needed a 5 or a 4. That was it really. We forgot to do the combat over here. We'll resolve that in a minute.
Do it now, you want?
Yeah, well, I get 1 attack, which I hit, and a wound.
It's up save. No.
So 1 dies.
And 4 gets you. 2 hits. 2 wounds.
Yeah.
You get 6 up.
So, yeah, wipes out.
Overrun?
No, because that was the second round of combat.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I forgot already. Next now.
It's alright, charge next turn. Yeah, so basically it's time for Ollie's at turn 5.
Okay, it's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 5. So I finally got my act together and reformed the Black Orcs to get the hell out of there, because standing there is stupid. Which is a bit late, but looks like the Giants holding them up a bit longer against all the odds. So the Savage Orcs charged the bolt thrower and rolled double 6 to get in. Killed it. We agreed it just died. And then rolled double 6 overrun as well. So they were out there. Didn't even bother moving the Wolf Riders. General just moved up this way with his 1 wound. And they stand there. That's pretty much it. Then the magic phase, I cast a Foot of Gork on these guys. Scattered off, managed to kill 1 of them. The shooting phase, I fired this and killed another one, so they're still there, but they're rallying on double 1s now, so they won't be back. Although it's debatable whether they'll actually run off the board in the next turn or so. Well, the next turn, because there's only 1 turn left for Sai. Then in close combat, like I say, they butchered the bolt thrower, who only had 1 wound left anyway. And then in this combat, Sai attacked me, managed to do nothing, because he only hit with 1 and then rolled a 1. Then in return, I got Thump with Club, which I targeted the Lariel, but of course she passed her initiative 12 leadership. So that was nothing. And then I Thunderstomped and managed to kill one of them because obviously they're toughness 7 with regen. So he won the combat, but I passed my stubborn test. Now we could go on for another turn, but I think size enough for rolling 11s for leadership tests.
Can't be arsed with it anymore.
So yeah, if these were ogres and it was leadership 7, he would have passed them all day long. But yeah, leadership 10's just too much for him. So yeah, So it's the end of the game. Obviously, I think it's pretty fair to say the Orcs have won this through no small part of luck, but not my luck, size bad luck. That Wyvern lived far longer than he should have. That General lived far longer than he should have, bearing in mind how many bolt throws shot at him. So he's running around preserving 375 points. These giants made so many lucky ward saves that they just lived a bit too long, really, and were holding up I'm just amazed how long these giants have held that white lion unit up. So it's a pretty good deal. There's no way those Black Orcs were ever going to be able to match them. So the giants really did their job. But really, for me, the man of the match is the General, just through, I don't know, he didn't actually have any lucky tattoos, but he is a lucky tattoo. That's what the tattoos are of this guy, because he just can't die. That Wyvern made so many 6-up armour saves, it was untrue. And then this guy was just... And he was killing stuff at the same time. He scored most of the points I got, actually. Because he killed the Spearmen, and the Swordmasters. Yeah. And to be fair, that's pretty much the only points I got, other than all the bolt throws. Which, the Goblins did finally manage to score some of them. My magic did absolutely nothing. Even the few times I did actually get a foot, it didn't actually do anything. Apart from kill a bolt thrower outright, which was nice.
Yeah, because believe it or not, I stuck with I've still got a Dispel Scroll.
Yeah, I spent the whole game dispelling Fiery Convocation because it's horrible, and murdered my Black Orcs.
Yeah.
So that wasn't very nice. But yeah, the Wyvern with the General was awesome. I'm really excited by that. Obviously I had 4 bolt throws, and I managed to survive them. I have no business surviving them, but I was worried about cannons and that because I thought maybe playing ogres or something. I thought, do you know what, I'll take it because I got it, so I might as well use it. And the bolt throws are even scarier prospect, really, because there's 4 of them rather than just the usual fail cannon that Sai takes. So I was quite scared, but I'm really happy he survived. It probably never happen again, but you never know. So very happy with him. The Giants were awesome. The ward save was definitely worth taking, especially the old syndrome I used to have with my Zinch Marauders with great weapons, is they were unkillable. So now I've got them in giant form, so that's nice. But overall, pretty happy with the list. Quite a fun list, although it does have the 2 big hordes. But to be fair, the 2 big hordes didn't do anything really. I mean, I know they charged the Spearmen, but the Spearmen were
Well, it was
the Spearmen had enough at that point.
It was a flank charge.
Yeah,
in a unit
if you're getting your horde into the flank, it's probably because the battle's over anyway. Because there's no unit in the world that's just going to let savages go in the flank unless they're already in a bad situation. So the hordes didn't really do anything. The Fiery Convocation is just horrible against me. It's against everyone, but it just hurts. Especially when you have to waste your magic phase getting rid of it as well. So, but yeah, that was horrible. But yeah, I think there was luck on my side in this game. Although I'm really pleased that I just charged that General out on turn 1 and he's still alive at the end of the game. That's just a miracle. So, very happy with that. So I'm going to hand you over to Si now, see what he thought of the game. But overall, I had fun. I feel a bit sorry for Si for all the bad luck he had, but he did have a Death Star of Doom, and it just shows that the best way to beat Death Star is just to throw meaningless chaff at it and
No. The best way to beat a Death Star is to let me play it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry, this is to everyone else on the internet. If you are actually playing side, don't worry about it. I was talking generally. I completely forgot that side was my opponent.
As I say, as everyone,
different rules apply here. Yeah.
As everyone else at last week's trip to Warhammer World found out as well.
Yeah. We have confirmation now. It's not just size luck against me. It's size luck against everyone. So
well, I would, however, caveat though that you know the Beastmen were the only guys that really trounced me. All right, I did get a little bit lucky with coming in my rear, but other than that, it was some close games. So you know, I give it to generalship on the other side, but
yeah,
it's sore in games like this where.
Yeah, so probably the only man on the planet to actually have a beastman horde come up behind him and beat his ogres with it. So, yeah, not good. Yeah, so I'm going to hand you over to Si now because I think he's getting fed up with my gloating. So.
Yes, well, I was happy that Ollie kept the gloating to a minimum. No, it was a good win for Ollie. He did play it very well. I think.
Yeah, I rolled a lot of sixes.
I think my bad luck helped him along a bit, but you know he did what he had to. Yeah, like I said, it was.
I'll tell you what now, though, right? Official. I'm giving you these dice back because they're charged up now. I'm giving you your ones because they're obviously cursed.
Oh yeah, you bloody. So. Yeah, it was absolutely terrible with some of the rolling I was getting. I was getting some very, very good magic phases. You know, I got 2 fiery convocations. Alariel was doing everything perfectly. The only thing she really failed to do was get Dwellers Below off, and because of the stuff that she's got, you know, she could attempt to recast it. What I was ideally hoping for was a nice high magic phase where Ollie didn't have very many dispel dice. He had no scroll. And then I could Dwellers a unit, and then Dwellers it again, you know, that kind of stuff. But, you know, it wasn't to be. She did very well. I
thought she was really good.
She buffed it. That
+4 to cost is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I think you stick Alariel in the unit of White Lions. She has a 2-up ward save against magical attacks. So you know she ain't gonna get death sniped. She become, and then really I think you know you kind of work a situation where you keep a bunker behind and then you bail her out if needs be into the bunker, but you keep the banner on the BSB, which means that anytime she's casting spells onto that unit. You get in the +4, you know, it's brilliant. Yeah, +8 to cast is massive.
Especially when you're playing a Death Star like that, you know, it's such a good.
Yeah. Now the big thing that I forgot to do with the Death Star was I forgot to give them a Lothan Sea Helm BSB, and I think that's the crux of how I failed here. I mean, there was things like as Ollie pointed out, I should have reformed when I'd won the combat to face off the giant, and I would have been able to bring more attacks to bear. But I was a bit pissed off and had had enough by that point.
Yeah. Worst thing is you even said it like about halfway through the game that you should reform them.
Yeah, yeah. So I was by that point. I was getting pissed off and I had enough. So yeah, I was in
a major cobble.
Yeah, it's just.
To be fair though, the amount of 11s you rolled was just insane.
Yeah, I mean failing fear tests and it's terrible. When like leadership 10, I mean it's stupid. But yeah, it was a. I like the army build. I could have done without having to rip a sizable amount out of it to start the game, but that really and truly didn't impact. I don't think impact the game at all because it still played as I'd intended it to. The plan being that the Swordmasters with the Shield Maiden and the Horn of Aisha were basically going to steam forward and basically suicide against the Savages. Savages were gonna tear them to pieces, but the idea was to bait them to go forward enough that they would then be out of charge arc for a bit of these guys who would work on the Black Orcs. Then getting rid of the Black Orcs, taking out a couple of the like one of the giants, and then just basically harrying everything else with the bolt throwers. I was going to be able to. I was hoping I'd be able to put paid to whatever else came, and then using dwellers to shrink the savages, what was left of the savages down even more if needs be, and then and then charging in and finishing the job. That was the plan. Unfortunately, it didn't come about. It almost did. I got the Black Orcs down nicely, but you know, it was just a matter of getting out. Well, I wouldn't say out. Well, yeah, I did get outmaneuvered by my own idiocy. I forgot. I really should take a Lothan Sea Helm BSB, because that would have saved me. Because obviously reform instantly on the charge. I would have chopped that other guy up. Then reformed, and then I would have been able to charge his Black Orcs, chop them up, reform, and then basically try and force the giant at him. And then by that point, you know, I could have got around the savages, and you know, I would have been out of there. And then I think with only the savages left and his shaman unit, I think I probably would have had the win there. But yeah, other than that, I think it was a good game. I really like that high elf build. Ilaria was really nice. She really, Law of Life really benefits the high elves. I think Law of Light probably isn't necessary. I think their initiative and their weapon skill is high enough in the army to not need it. I think Life is great because, you know, I had Flesh to Stone, I had Dwellers Below, I had Throne of Vines. You know, the only other really great thing I could have done with was maybe Earth Blood for regrowth. Regrowth would have been very useful. Certainly in the latter stages of the game, where, you know, an extra few white lines could be the difference between you know, finishing off Ollie's horde or not. So, you know, that's just the way it is. But yeah, other than that, you know, was good. So that's a build definitely worth looking at and refining and having a good think about. And I think it gives me something solid to sit down and think about painting. Although with some recent eBay purchases of some Empire stuff, I might be trying out some Empire again if I can dig my book out. So
I brought my book round.
Marvellous. Oh, yeah, well, I'll borrow Ollie's book until I can unpack my stuff. So yeah, after that, you know, we'll have to see what next week brings. It's drawing perilously close to Christmas, so we'll make the most of one last game, I reckon, before the Christmas period kicks in. As the following weekend, I'm up in Manchester and then away elsewhere. But yeah, we shall see what happens next week. So yeah, with that, goodbye, and hopefully I have better luck next time.